Hello and welcome back to Roy's the Boy. Now for you today I have got a earthquake wood chipper which has got a Briggs and Stratton an intek-I C.206 engine on it. It is in very bad condition. It's came in with someone who said can I get it fixed for him. It doesn't even have the air box with the air filter on it, so air intake box I should say. And it doesn't start either. It's been left out in the garden for about 3 years. It does pull over, but I don't know if it starts. So let's go and have a look at it and see if we can salvage it. Right, so there it is. This is the one. If we go from the top of it first, it's got bits. There's nothing inside there, so it has got bits of its that's part of the exhaust, which covers over here. As you can see, it's got the choke on here, the carburetor. It's even got the screws that hold the airbox on, but there's nothing there for it. It's got a very similar carburetor to the Quantum engine. It's got the breather pipe for it. Oh, was that going to start then? What else is not working on it? Oops, dropped it then. Is the fuel tap's not working. This is very, very stiff, and as you can see inside there, it is really, really in bad condition. Even round on this side, it does need a good old clean. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the airline on it and then get the jet wash on it and give it a clean up first, and then spray some fuel in here or something in the carburetor just to see if it works, see if it's sparking as what. If it ain't going to work while working on that, I'll take the carburetor, the spark plug out, and then just to see if it fires. So let's go and give it a clean up first. Alright, so what we'll do first is we'll just spray some bit of stuff in there just to see if we fire. That's on run. I don't know if there's an electrical switch. I can't seem to find one. So let's see if let's take that out of there. Let's just see if we can get a spark. Oh, did that want to go in? Let's get some more spray in there. I think that wanted to go in. Right, so it's not firing in. Let's take the spark plug out and have a look at that. Still a lot of rubbish underneath this fuel tank, so I'll have to take the fuel tank off. Wouldn't surprise me if I have to take the whole engine off. Well, let's stay at that. Let's see if I've got another one in there and stick that in, and we'll see what happens. Right, got another plug in it. I haven't put any more fuel in there yet, and I don't want to flood it too much. Let's spray some more in there. Put it on choke. I think that wanted to go in. No, it's not going, is it? Right, let's take it off a choke. and see what happens here. Well, that's certainly fired up then. Right, so let's take the carburetor off and stick it straight into the ultrasonic cleaner, and whilst that's doing that, I'll take this tank off, give it a good old clean under there, figure out what's wrong with this fuel tap, and give it a clean under here as well. Alright, so we'll start off first just by clamping this fuel. So I'm not sure if this is on or off, this fuel tap at the moment, because it ain't moving, it's stuck. And then we'll take this clamp off. I'll get this fuel pipe up. Oh, that's a bit stiff, isn't it? So, well, I think that must be off, that tap, because there's nothing come out of there then. Let's loosen these first off. Oh, they're tight. There, they're off. Let's go and get some nuts and bolts. I mean, some sockets for that. Cool, they're quite long, aren't they? Cool, I'll tell you what. Cool, they were really locked in, they were. And then I think all you do is, by the looks of that, that's a nut and bolt just gone. I think I could take that off because I don't think there's anything coming out of there now, I think. Cool, this is awkward. That's it. Right, 2 bolts off there. I think this comes off of there. Yeah, well, look inside there, look. That's probably one of the problems. It's got cobwebs inside it, so there could be some spiders in there. Give them a little shock with all that sort of noise. Well, anyway, let's put those bits there. Let's start taking this apart. Now let's have a look at that. Has it got a hole in it? I was just going to see if there's a... Right. Well, that is clear inside, but there is a lot of white powder on that one, and we'll take this off. There is some dirt inside there, no fuel whatsoever. Let's take this float off. It's the first wood chipper, I should say, that I've ever done. So we put that into there. Float rubber is still inside there. What I will do though is I will pre-clean it with some carb cleaner. Let's just make sure there's no other jets. No, can't see any other jets inside it, so it looks like a simple one. But this guy's stick it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'll come back and then we'll start taking the fuel tank off and the recoil cover and everything, and give it a good old clean whilst that's doing. I'm going to have to play around with this as I go along, because I haven't done one of these before. So let's just take this plastic cover off here. Screws in there, see how this comes off. Right, so that come off quite easily. See, look, loads of cobwebs. Let's just get rid of those straight into the bin. Loads of spider nests there. Right, so how many bolts have we got holding that on? Right, I think I might have to take the recoil bar cover off. Looks like, so I can, I don't know how I'm going to get that off. This fuel tank off because it's bolted the other side there as well. Right, let's just have a look, see what happens. One, two. Is that loose or not? Oh yeah, that was handy. It wasn't even bolted on properly on the other side. Oh, look at the state of that. That is mullered. Someone has forced that into there. God, it's terrible. Right, there is fuel in it. I've got to give all this a clean and figure out why this is not moving very good. Well, I've taken the bolts off of this recoil cover as well, so let's have a look at them. Wow, yeah, more spiders. I'll give that a clean in a minute. Get the spiders, eggs and stuff like that inside there. I mean, look at the state of that coil. Maybe the coil's not working. You can see where it's been rusty. Flyball's probably got loads of rust on it. Right, I'm going to give this a good old clean out. Look like it's got a nest in here, look at that. Yeah, even behind it. I may have to take the flywheel off. There is a nut on it. Right, let's give it a clean and we'll come back. Alright, I've taken this nut off this firewall and I've loosened it with me little gun, which comes out. Lucky then, nearly lost a firewall key there. Take this out, give this all a good clean. There might be a bit of a leak or something there is oily. Right, I'll give this a clean and come back. Right, so what I'm going to do is, whilst I've got this firewall off, is just give this firewall a bit of a clean up. Just get most of this rust off. I'll do this and then I'll come back to you. Alright, so I've gave this a little bit of a clean, but I have noticed now, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to take that engine off to get this bolted back on there properly. I'm going to have to clean all this up here, and I'm going to have to put some washers on it, I think, to hold that in place. Otherwise this tank is just going to be shaking like that when it's running. So this is more time on this machine than what I thought it was going to be. It's more of a project than anything else, so let's get this engine off. Right, I can't take that engine off, it doesn't come from underneath. To get this engine off, you have got to take the whole mechanism from the cutting mechanism off, and that's where it's bolted to, this big old plate it. So I won't be taking the engine off to get that fuel tank on. I'll have to figure it another way, but I've taken this out of the ultrasonic cleaner now. It hasn't come up too bad as it happens, so we'll just start putting this back together. At least this would be one. Let's get it on the right way round. It's all nice and dry now as well. Get this pin in. That's it really. Just push that in just a little bit more. And then we do this up. And that'll do it. Right, so what I've done is I've tidied this up as best I could, and I've just got these wider washers, and I'm hoping that that is going to fit onto there. I might have to just fold this bit down here a little bit on this one. It's just a little bit too big, but this one seems, I think we'll be alright on this one. Yeah, that one will be fine. So I'll just flatten this one off a little bit there and then see if we can get it on. Right, so that should be alright on there now. Yes it is. So let's see if we can get this on. Right, let's see if we can offer this in there now. I'm not worried about the back ones, the front ones at the time being. I just want to get these back ones on. Right, I've just put those in just a little bit too much. Well, this one I haven't, have I? That's it. Make sure that washer the flat bits at the top. Right, okay. So now what I've got to try and do now is I've got to get this 10mm ratchet spanner right round the back there. Oh, just to give you some sort of idea where I've got to put this. Oops, no, wrong way, that was going outwards, wasn't it? It's not an easy one. I'm hoping this is going to do the job of these big washers. Right, that washer's spinning as well, so that's no good. I'll put that straight when it's a bit more tighter, just before it starts to bite on it. Well, I'm not going to show you doing me all of this, because I don't know how long it's going to take. So I'll get this tank on and then I'll come back. Alright, let's get this flywheel back on now. I'll put this key in. Put that in there. And that's I'll tighten this up and I'll come back here. I've got to set up my airline for the ratchet gun. Right, so as you can see I've been a little bit busy. I didn't do any videoing of just putting all this stuff back together. The tank is now solid on. I've given the recoil cover a little bit of a clean. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's a really old machine, and I've put this cover and the actual fuel tap. Let's hold that there, but it is turning now and there is fuel coming out of there as well. So let's get this carburetor back on, and then hopefully tonight I might be able to see if we can take it outside and see if it'll start. It may not start because it doesn't have this breather pipe going into it, because I'm still waiting for the air filter box to come so I can fit that on as well. So let's stick this carb on and see if we can give it a go. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do here is just try and, that looks a bit bent as it happens, that looks a bit bent there. Let's see if I can get a pair of pliers on it and just straighten it up a bit. I don't think that should be bent like that. Come on. Oh, just a bit too much. That's better. Well, that went on a lot easier than what it did come off, I have to admit. Right, first of all I did forget that goes onto there. Or did it go onto that one? Oh, it went onto there. Right, okay, fair enough. Get the 2 bolts. There we are. Where's that 10mm socket gone? Hopefully I can get that into there. Get that side on as well. Make sure it's all flat. Oops. That's it. Sorted. Put this pipe back on, yeah. And there we go. Right, so let's turn this fuel on and see if there's any leaks. Hopefully there won't be. Can't see nothing leaking here for the moment. No. Let's just make sure that this is all. Oh, that's getting what's empty in here. That feels. That don't feel right there. Right, this governor arm is not moving. It's stuck. Right. It's to do with this, so just give us 1 second. Right, I figured out what the problem was. This was on the wrong side because I took it off the way it was, and this was upside down, but this has to be down like that, just so that of course that can run free, and this has to go inside of the recoil cover. So we'll offer this on again, and I think this bit here should stay on the outside. So just as I put that in there, yep, that's the way that goes. And then that should be nice and free there. Yep, right. Let's put this back together and I'll come back. Alright, okay, so that's a lot better now. That's the way it should be going. Maybe that's the reason, one of the reasons why it wasn't started. I think someone else has had a go, already had a go at this. There's a funny story about how I got this, as it happens. The bloke who owns this, the second time I actually met him, because I did a strimmer for him as well, and it was racking my brains, and I thought, I know this fella, where do I know this fella? Anyway, for a few days I figured it out. When I used to live in East London many years ago, I used to I worked for the fella that owns this. Now what a small world that is, eh? He's moved up into this little village where I am. He's been up here for 20 odd years. And I've been here for 7 years, and believe it or not, he only lives 1 street round the corner. Alright, so let's get this back onto there. And then take it outside. And we'll see if it works. Right, so we'll stick that on. Stick it on choke. I'll stick it on half throttle, I think, half frame. Let's see what happens. well, it started very very easy without that airbox, but what's happened is this fuel tank's come off again, so that little sort of bodge job didn't work, so I'll have to figure out something else to try and hold this on. I might have to use a cable tie. Right, so outside there you heard the machine start up very very well, and also I need to fix that fuel tank. So what else I've also decided to do as well, whilst I'm doing that, is I'm going to take this exhaust cover apart, get a wire brush onto it with my drill bit, and give it a complete respray. Don't have to do it, but since I know the fella, I'm just going to do him a favour and do it. So let's get everything sorted out and clean these up. Well, we've got a bit of sun glaze in here. So all I use is this, my cordless drill, and this is a clamp. Just gives us a little bit of a clean. Doesn't take much. And let's pull that out nicely. I won't spray this guard because it's just metal, so just to get the rust, some of the rust off, and cobwebs and stuff. See, comes up really nice. But what I will do is I'll just show this bit here. It's got loads of rust on there. I need to get myself a power one ready, a bench grinder one. I do use this quite a lot as it happens, so I need to invest in one really. That's a lot better than what it was. And then I'll just spray it with some heat resistant silver paint. And I'll show you that when I've cleaned these up. I ain't going to do the inside because you won't see it, so that'll do for me. Alright, so all I'm going to do is, I've got this heat resistant paint, so I'm just going to spray that there. Don't need a lot. Get that over there. Simple as that. Goes on quite thick, this stuff, so it's really good. And I'll do that one there. As a matter, just spray that bit there as well, make it look good. But I have decided to do the cage as well, so I'll stick that to one side, and then I'll just give that a spray there as well, make it look good. Hope this after spray ain't going onto the camera lens. Got the underneath there. That's it, that'll do. Well, let's start putting this exhaust on. This has to go on here first. I'm not going to bolt this side down because I want to bolt this into here, because that goes into, that screws into there. So what I'm going to do first is get one into there first. and just get it in for a little bit. Right, I had to mess around there with that. It's not as easy as what you think. So get that one in. And that's the bolt under there, so it stops it springing around because there's nothing else. Right. Okay, so that's solid onto there, and I've forgotten about that one, haven't I? I'll get that one done up with a spanner. And then I'll just get this bolted into here. On this side, you can't really see it from that angle with the camera, but it's held in with a 10mm spanner. And that's it. Job done on that. Right, so here it is all put back together now. This is all on solid. I did spray the cage bit in the end. I've just got to put the spark plug cover back on. Yeah, it's all solid. Hopefully this tank is now going to be hold the vibration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it outside now and give it another run. Right. Well, that held. I'm happy with that. The tank is staying on, which is good. This is just the paint where it's got a little bit hot. So what is to do now is give it an oil change. Right, I've noticed on this engine it's actually got 2 oil fillers. So there's no fuel, no oil dipstick, so it must just go to the where the screw is. As it happens. So what we'll do is we'll take this out first, and then I'll have a look. I'll undo the other one as well, the other side, and then we'll see if it has got 2 lots in it. Right, so I'll take this old oil out, check the other side, and then I'll refill it, and when it's done I'll come back to you. Right, so the oil is all done now. All I've got to do now is get this put back in. When this came to me, this was only being held on by one little bolt, plus this had been taken out. So I reckon someone's been putting some logs in there, or some branches that are way too big, because that's the only thickness, the maximum you're meant to put into there. because one of the chippers on it has slightly broken. I don't know how to get to them. I ain't here. All my head is just get the engine working and not sort of do anything in there. But I did sharpen the back ones, which are easier to get to. So I can't get to them ones, so I'm not touching them. So let's see if I can get some screws. It's going to have to be some sort of self-tapping screw, I think, to get these back in. And then four more nuts and bolts to put all this back on. It's quite handy to have these ratchet spanners. Hopefully I can get this one into here. It's not all the times when you have to use sockets, so these ratchet spanners. I mean, I bought this, I think it's from, I can't remember if it's Amazon or from China or something like that. It was only £3, this ratchet spanner. It's not as if you've got to over tighten it with the ratchet one. But you can get them into awkward places. Just make sure I got it the right way. Yep. Oops, trust me to drop it. Now, is it going to be the right way? Nope, wrong way. That's it. One more. There we are, all done. Right, so that's all I could do on this machine at the moment now. I'm still waiting for this airbox cover to be sent over. I've had to order this from America, so hopefully it ain't going to be too long. It's been just over a week at the moment, so hopefully in the week sometime I'll get it, and when I do, I'll show you putting it on, and then I can give it back. Right, at last, on the deck, yeah, you can see I've got my parts for that wood chipper. Now, the bits I got came inside this little box, or these little boxes, and they sent them in this big box. So well packed, genuine Briggs and Stratton parts. I'm not affiliated, I'm not being paid by them either. So I've stuck them on the machine already, so let's go outside and have a look and see what I've done. Right, so this is one of the parts which I've got here. All that is just a metal bracket which held on by 2 screws. It's not worth showing you how to put it on because it's easy enough, 2 bolts in there. I bought a brand new air filter, and this is the plastic cover. These were £58. That's not including the air filter. I had these in stock myself, so all I'm going to do now is just put that into there like that. And then just tighten that up slowly. That's it. Right, so I put that on choke and give it a start. Right, I've moved it on there because it bounces around on the concrete, so it will help to turn the air fuel on. Well, there you have it on that earthquake wood chipper. All put back together now, and engine's running. It did only seem to want to cut on that little tube scoopy one, you know, where you put it through the hole there. I'll probably have to have a look at the blades on the bigger one. For some reason it didn't want to drag those little bits in, unless it was just too little. I don't know. Maybe you got to put it in bigger. I've never used one before. So anyway, that's all there is on this one. That's all working well, and I'm glad it's all done now. Took 2 weeks to get those bits for the air filter and the cover and all that, so that was a bit long, that was, but never mind, I can go and get rid of it now. So hopefully they'll be pleased with it. So if you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that great notification bell, and then you'll be told when I'm going to be doing another one. So until next time, cheerio.